There is no place on Earth quite like Antarctica. Let's find out in this video why Antarctica is such a more interesting place than the rest of the world. 1. Most of the fresh water in the world is found in Antarctica. Incredibly, the enormous ice sheet covering Antarctica contains between 60 and 90% of the fresh water on Earth. With its astounding 14 million square kilometers, 5.4 million square miles, of Antarctic mountain ranges, valleys, and plateaus covered in ice, the Antarctic ice sheet is the largest on Earth. Only 1% of Antarctica is now permanently free of ice. Half the height of Mount Everest, or 4.5 kilometers, 2.7 miles of ice covers Antarctica at its deepest point. Global sea levels would rise by around 60 m if it all melted, 200 feet. 2. Antarctica is a desert. How could Antarctica be a desert when there is so much fresh water stored in the ice sheet? The majority of us associate deserts with sand dunes and scorching weather, but in reality, a desert need not be hot or sandy, rather, it depends on how much precipitation the region receives in the form of rain, snow, mist, or fog. Any area with extremely low yearly precipitation is considered a desert. Over the previous 30 years, the South Pole experienced little over 10 millimeters of annual rainfall on average. The average amount of precipitation over the continent is too low to qualify Antarctica as a polar desert, despite the fact that there is greater precipitation towards the shore. Even though Antarctica is covered in ice, the fact that so little rain falls there means that it has taken an amazing 45 million years for the glacier to reach its current thickness. Antarctica is not only the coldest, windiest, and tallest continent on Earth, but it is also one of the driest. 3. Previously, Antarctica was as warm as Melbourne. It can be challenging to see Antarctica as a warm, temperate paradise given that the coldest land temperature ever measured was recorded there at -89.2 degrees Celsius -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. But Antarctica hasn't always been a frozen continent covered in a huge ice sheet. Antarctica was actually formerly nearly as warm as Melbourne is now. Researchers believe that between 40 and 50 million years ago, Antarctica experienced temperatures as high as 17 degrees Celsius (62.6 degrees Fahrenheit). Scientists have also discovered fossils demonstrating that Antarctica formerly had lush green forests and was home to dinosaurs. 4. The Antarctic Peninsula is one of the most rapidly warming areas on Earth. The Antarctic Peninsula is warming more quickly than many other areas on Earth. In fact, it is one of the most rapidly warming areas on the planet. Over the past 50 years, average temperatures across the Antarctic Peninsula have increased by 3 degrees Celsius (37.4 degrees Fahrenheit), 5 times the average increase on Earth. 5. There is no time zone for Antarctica. It might be difficult to tell the time in Antarctica. The longitude lines that determine the various time zones found on Earth all converge at the South Pole. In the summer, much of Antarctica receives 6 months of non-stop daylight, and in the winter, 6 months of total darkness. Without the conventional identifiers for day and night, time begins to feel a little odd. Although it can be problematic, scientists operating in Antarctica typically adhere to the time zone of the nation they left. For instance, there are stations from Chile, China, Russia, the UK, and many other nations on the Antarctic Peninsula. You can see how it may be challenging to share data and resources without accidentally waking up one another in the middle of the night if all of these nearby stations adhere strictly to their own time zones. 6. Every way is north. The southernmost point on Earth is where you would be if you were to stand at the South Pole. No matter which way you turn, north is always to the north. Why then do we refer to the region just south of Australia as East Antarctica and the Antarctic Peninsula as being in West Antarctica? It is based on the prime meridian, a hypothetical line that passes through Greenwich, United Kingdom, at longitude 0 degrees. East Antarctica is to the right and West Antarctica is to the left if you are standing at the South Pole and facing Greenwich. 7. Antarctica has active volcanoes. There are multiple volcanoes in Antarctica, and 2 of them are erupting right now. The southernmost active volcano on Earth is Mount Erebus, the second highest volcano in Antarctica. This icebound volcano, which is situated on Ross Island, has numerous unusual characteristics, including ice fumaroles and twisted ice statues that develop around gases that seep from vents close to the volcanic crater. During the difficult and extremely freezing 5-day hike to the steaming crater, a party led by Australian geologist Edgeworth David and featuring Douglas Mawson achieved the first ascent of Mt Erebus in 1908. The South Shetland Islands' Deception Island, a volcanic crater, is home to the second active volcano. After the most recent eruption in 1969, it was abandoned. Previously, it was the site of a prosperous whaling station and afterwards a research station. 8. A subglacial lake has blood-red water. An odd occurrence was noticed in 1911 on a distant glacier in East Antarctica. Water pouring from deep within the Taylor Glacier was staining the glacier's lily-white ice a dark crimson color. The cause of the red color was unknown for a long time, until experts finally published their discovery in 2017. Blood Falls got its name because of the dramatic red color that the water took on when it came into contact with oxygen. The water was coming from a subglacial lake deep under the glacier that was rich in salt and oxidized iron. 9. Antarctica has its own treaty. When humans caught their first glimpse of Antarctica in 1820, it was the only continent without an indigenous population. Several nations quickly made claims to the continent, which led to significant tension. While some countries argued that Antarctica was rightfully theirs, others heartily disagreed. As tension mounted, everyone agreed on the need for a peaceful resolution. In December 1959, 12 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty, an unprecedented international agreement to govern the continent together as a reserve for peace and science. Since then, 41 other countries have signed the treaty and participate in annual meetings, where decisions are made about how human activity in Antarctica is managed. All decisions made within the Antarctic Treaty System are made by consensus, with collaboration and agreement as the central pillars. Today, the Antarctic Treaty System has expanded to include strict guidelines for commercial fishing, sealing, and a complete ban on mining and mineral exploration. 10. Diamond dust floats in the air. Although there are low levels of precipitation in Antarctica, meteorological wonders abound and diamond dust is one of them. Diamond dust is made of tiny ice crystals that precipitate out of humid air near the Earth's surface. It's a little like an icy fog. As ice crystals hang suspended in the air, sunlight causes them to sparkle, creating a glittering effect that looks like a million tiny floating diamonds. Diamond dust is also responsible for beautiful optical phenomena like sun dogs, halos and light pillars.